Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Rosa Maria. Today I have a great, simple, easy project for beginners, and we're going to learn how to make this box pouch. This is great to keep your makeup and also great for toiletry. And this is, like I mentioned, a very simple project. You can make it in 3 different sizes, and these are great projects to make as gifts for your family, friends, and especially for yourself too. So I want to show you what it looks like inside first. This is the medium size box pouch that we're going to be making. And this is what it looks like on the sides, in the bottom. And I'm going to open it up and turn it inside out so you can see what it looks like in the inside. And over here, this is where the opening is, and then we're going to be closing it. But this is what it looks like inside. And we turn it back how it was before. So this is what it looks like. I want to show you the other box pouch sizes. Here's a small one, and of course this is the medium one, and this is the large size. They're all basically shaped as a box, and we're going to be working on how to make the medium size. So for all 3 sizes that I show you, small, medium, and large, I'm going to have all the measurements in the description box for you. But we're going to be focusing, as I mentioned, on how to make the medium size box pouch. So grab all your tools and let's get started. Next, what you need to do is you need to cut out 2 pieces of fabric, and both sides have to be 31 centimeters by 19 centimeters. So once you finish cutting your fabric, you have to also cut out your lining, and make sure you also cut out 2 pieces of lining. And again, the next step, interface, cutting 2 pieces of interface, and again 31 centimeters by 19 centimeters. So once that is done, you're going to cut 2 small pieces, and these are going to be the holders for the box pouch. And this size, for 2 sizes you need, is 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. So make sure you cut out 2 pieces of fabric for your holders. Okay, now take 1 piece of your holder fabric here. I have here my wool mat that's going to help me iron this fabric. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold the fabric in half, take your iron, press it very well, and once you finish pressing it, you're going to refold it again, as you can see here. And take your iron, press, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to fold, iron it, and then I'm going to refold it again and give it a good press. And you're going to do the same thing to the second holder fabric. And I'm going to open it so you can see. This is what it looks like. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3 folds right over here. And then we're going to take it to the sewing machine, and we're going to stitch all the way down here on this side, and also a straight stitch all the way down on this side. So let's go to the sewing machine. Okay, now we're going to do a straight stitch. And then we're going to do the other side. I'm going to lower the needle. And we're done. So when you finish sewing both of the holders and you finish stitching, this is what it should look like. I'm trying to give you a little close-up look here in the camera what it looks like. So once you've finished stitching both, then we move on to the next step. take 2 of your fabric pieces and make sure you iron it very well before. And once it's nicely pressed, we're gonna make sure that we put the printed side facing down. And then you're gonna take your interface. Make sure that you take the sticky side of your interface and face it down on the fabric. And the same thing for the other side. Make sure that the sticky side is facing down. If you're not sure, just check the instructions on your package that comes with the interface. So once we do that, then I'll take my iron and press and do the same thing to the other side. Give it a nice little good press. Ironing the interface to the fabric. The next step we're going to do is I'm going to take one piece of my fabric and I want to make sure that the printed side is facing up. And I'm going to take the second piece of fabric, making sure that both printed sides are facing each other. I'm going to have them sandwiched. And then I'm going to take my sewing pin and I'm going to just pin it just to secure the fabric from shifting or moving. Let me take another pin here. And do the same thing here to the bottom. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna create a template. And this is 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters. And we are gonna use this to cut the corners. And I'm gonna take my erasable fabric pen. So this template is gonna make it easier for me to outline the template to give it a nice square. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the top one. And the third corner here. Hopefully you can see. Okay. And then do the same thing for the last corner. Okay, so now that we have 4 corners done, and now I'm going to cut the corners with my pair of scissors. Yeah, let me try this a little bit. Get it right here. Okay. Okay, and do the same thing to the next one. Trim that off. And the next one here. Ooh. And you're gonna do the same thing with the lining. You're gonna take your template and you're gonna cut 4 corners of the lining fabric. So as you can see, you're gonna see the same thing as we completed with the fabric, 4 corners, and likewise with the lining, 4 corners. Take one of your fabric and make sure that the printed side is facing up. You're gonna take your zipper, make sure that the head of the zipper is facing down and align it here at the edge. And then you're gonna take your lining piece and you're gonna also align it. You're gonna sandwich that zipper between the fabric and the lining. And you wanna make sure that everything is aligned. Once that is done, then you're gonna take your sewing pins to secure everything there. And once you finish pinning everything, giving it a nice, making sure everything is sandwiched, we're gonna take it to the sewing machine and then we're gonna stitch across here. Make sure that you change your foot to a zipper footer so it makes it easier for you to sew the lining fabric with the zipper. I'm gonna remove the sewing pins. I'm going to start to stitch. Okay, just make sure I have my presser foot right below me. Okay, and then back stitch to secure everything. Okay, making sure everything is nicely and neat. We finished stitching across to secure the zipper. I'm going to open and as you can see, okay, great. Just to make sure everything is nice and even. So now I'm going to take the other piece of fabric. I am going to face this down and place this on top, as you can see. Make sure that both printed sides are facing up. And I'm gonna align the zipper. And then I'm gonna take the lining and align it also. And then again, we're gonna take our sewing pins to sandwich everything together, make sure everything is secured, so then we can sew. And then now again, we're going to sew across here to secure the zipper to the lining and the fabric. Okay, now I'm going to back stitch. And something else I forgot to mention, make sure that you have your needle down for you to move the zipper. I forgot to mention that. So when you're sewing, you want to move the zipper out of the way, so it makes it easier for one to sew. Okay, now I'm gonna move the zipper again to get it out of the way. Okay. Now I'm gonna continue to sew. And back stitch. We finished stitching straight across. Now I'm going to open the fabric. I'm going to flip it this other way and open up the lining. And I'm going to take my iron and just iron it down. And I'm going to turn it facing up, and I'm going to do the same thing. And nicely iron. And then we're going to take it to the sewing machine. We're going to stitch here across and here across. Okay, now we're going to stitch. I'm just going to move the zipper zipper out of the way a little bit. You finish one side, and now we're going to do the other side. As you can see, we finished stitching the long side of the zipper. I'm just testing to make sure the zipper opens. I'm gonna leave it a little bit open, and we're gonna just align the fabric together and also the lining together. And I'm gonna take my fabric clip and I'm gonna clip this end here, and I'm gonna do the same thing to this side, and I'm going to make sure everything is centered, and I'm going to start to take my sewing pins and clip this end. Same thing over here. Place these pins here and here at this end, and you're going to do the same thing to the lining. So we're going to do this end, and then we're going to do this end. For this side here, we're going to make sure that we're going to leave about 4 inches space, and I'm going to put this sewing pin here to let me know this is a section where I need to sew. And the same goes for this end over here. Align it. Oops. So make sure you have about 4 inches of opening, because this allows us to turn the fabric inside out. So we're gonna sew here, 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 here. Okay, Orbit. Come on, Orbit, move. And then here. And this small section here we're going to sew, and this small section we're going to sew, and make sure that this end is left open. So let's go to the sewing machine. Now I'm going to start to sew the back stitch. Oops, something got caught here. Okay. Okay, now we're back in business. Back stitch. Okay. All right, I'm having some technical issues here. That's okay. The show must go on. Now I'm going to sew here at this side also. Back stitch. Back stitch. Now I'm coming to where the lining is. Back stitch. And then here, remember this spot here? We're just gonna sew this section here. I'm gonna remove the pin. Back stitch. Now move on to this section here. Back stitch. And now we're coming to this side over here. Let's put this fabric this thread over to the side. Back stitch. And now we're coming to the end. I'm going to finish stitching over here. We finished sewing. Now we're going to go and create the corners, box corners I should say. Make sure that it's aligned, and you can open up the seam and take your fabric clip and clip right over here, and do the same thing to the other side. Make sure the seam are aligned, the line here and the seam is open. And then you're going to take a fabric clip and clip it. And then we're going to do the same thing to the lining. We're going to create that box corner. Make sure everything is aligned. Open up the seams. And the next one we're going to be doing also is the last corner we're going to be doing here. And then make sure everything is centered with the line and open up the seams. Okay, this one I think I made it too small, but you know, open up the seam. Mistakes do happen. And then we're going to do is take it to the sewing machine, and we're going to stitch across. All four of them, even the fabric one, all four has to be sewn across. Okay, now we're going to start sewing our corners. Back stitch. Okay, let me just lift this foot up and just open up these seams here. Okay. And back stitch. And do the same thing to this side. Move the needle up. Okay. And just continue. Back stitch. And then we're going to do the lining. Okay. Back stitch. And now we're going to work on the last corner for the lining. Just fix this a little bit. Okay. Okay. Okay, we finished sewing the four corners. Now, I'm going to fold this, and then we're going to take here our holder, and we're going to face the holder down, and make sure that the holder is where the printed side is of the fabric. And I'm going to put the zipper there, and then open up this. I'm trying to open this up. Now I got it. Okay, and I'm going to take the fabric clip and sandwich all this together, and I'm going to go around and do the same thing. I'm going to fold this. Make sure there's a line. I'm going to open up the seam. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Just open this and make sure, oh, I'm sorry. See, I forgot. I forgot this. I forgot the holder. Make sure again that the holder is with the fabric side. And make sure the zipper where this area is, okay, and then take this and line it up. And then we are going to put the fabric clip on. And then we're going to go to the sewing machine and stitch here across and do the same thing, stitch here across. We're going to sew the corner. I'm going to back stitch. Remove the fabric clip and start slowly. It's kind of bulky, so I'm just going very slow. And then I'll pick up speed and then back stitch. Now we're going to do the other side. Okay, I'm working on the next corner. Back stitch. And back stitch. And we finished. Now that we finish, we are going to turn this inside out. Corners here and here. And then we're gonna take it, let's get this corner here, here, corner here, and corner here. So I got all my corners, forgot to mention that. And then now we are gonna take it to the sewing machine. And we are going to stitch the opening here, sew it. So I'm going to take my sewing pins. Same thing here, sewing, do the same thing. And then we're going to stitch all across to close the opening. Okay, now we're going to start to stitch to close the opening. I'm going to back stitch and continue to sew. And back stitch. And we are done. Now that we finished sewing the opening, we're going to turn it inside out. I'm going to open up the corners here. And close the zipper to make sure it's working. And voila, we are done making it. Excellent. Thank you very much for watching my tutorial. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and your family. And also, I want to remind everybody that in the description box below, I have all the materials and tools you need, and also a link where you can purchase it, and also all the measurements so that you can make your small, medium, or large pouch that you prefer to make. So till next time, bye.